When you find a Dr. Benjy tactic on the Steam Workshop, especially one for Liverpool, you kind of want to check it out. Unfortunately, it's Dr. Benjy. He didn't put a single lick of work into the description, updating anything, so you could actually see what this is all about before you download it and try it. Well, that's what we're here for. Yes, ladies and gents, this is yet another Liverpool tactic. I figured I might as well try a couple more. There's a lot of Liverpool tactics, Klopp tactics, Guardiola tactics. I mean, there's everything out there. So Liverpool obviously is one that I kind of flock towards. So we are checking out the Liverpool best 4-3-3 today. As you can see, it is a sweeper keeper in attack, a wing back on support on the left and the right, ball playing defenders both in the center spots, a ball winning midfielder in support, center midfielder in support, as well as a center midfielder in attack, inside forward on support, and inside forward on attack on the right, and then a pressing forward in attack up front. It is a custom gegenpress attacking mentality. In possession, attacking width is fairly wide. Approach play is pass to space, overlap on the left and right, play out of defense. Passing directness of standard, tempo of higher. Final third, mix crosses, work the ball into the box, and that is it. In transition, you have counter press, counter, distribute to center backs, and take short kicks. And then out of possession, high press line of engagement, higher defensive line, which is definitely what I would expect from a Liverpool tactic. Trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and step up more. And of course, no opposition instructions whatsoever. And if we look straight at the table, you can see this did not work well at all. Wolves expected to be in 15th, climbed one spot. You would expect them, I personally would expect them to be a lot higher than that. Newcastle in 11th have dropped a couple spots, and Tottenham in 7th have also dropped a couple spots. Nobody in Champions League or Conference League or any kind of European league whatsoever. It is pretty sad to see, actually. Tottenham find a good margin. I mean, it's 6 points right there. 58 points right for Tottenham in 7th. Newcastle with 47, and then Wolves with 41. Not too far off relegation at all. A tactic that definitely needs a lot more hands-on than what this sim has been able to offer. You can see quickly that the team attacking and defending for the most part against the Premier League as an average did fairly well, but then again, they lie in 7th. So within the top 10, you would expect these numbers to be a pretty much better than the league average. But shots per game are doing fairly well, 15.34. Dribbles per game is a lot less though. You can see 16.6 for the Premier League, 13.84 for Tottenham. So not great. And then shots percentage was, what was that? It was 43.4. So Newcastle, you could see non-penalty expected 1.61 to the league average of 1.32. Unfortunately, the screen, I'm not going to show it too often because I can't get rid of this box. But shots per game is more, shots on target is more, everything else except for cross completion, which is pretty much bang on average, is less. Dribbles per game is a lot less. So dribbling wise, this is not the tactic for you if that's what you want to deal with. Wolves kind of looks like an upside down Pac-Man. So everything, I mean, the dribbles per less is so much less than normal. But everything else is actually, for the most part, okay. Pass completion rate is less. However, I mean, still his box. But overall, I mean, Wolves look like they did better than they should have in the league. But yeah, Wolves ending up in 14th. Somehow did a lot worse than Newcastle did in terms of the data hub. I'm going to quickly go over the schedule, but overall, they just did a very spotty job, and as you would expect, they lie in 14th. But out in the EFL Cup, 2-3 at home against Barnsley, and then out in the FA Cup against Man City, 2-5. Oh wow, look at this run. Absolutely horrific. 2 wins in this entire time. Absolutely awful. Newcastle, still spotty, have a much better run from Wolves all the way down to Everton. So having a couple of runs, well, not really. That one run is the only real difference. Everything else is incredibly spotty. The last half of the season, I mean, just so many losses in there. Out in the FA Cup, 4th round, 0-4 against Leicester. And whereas the EFL Cup, 1-1, penalty loss against Brentford, and you're out of both. Tottenham has a fantastic run all the way from Borussia Dortmund all the way down to this 1-1 win, 1-0 win against Southampton in the Premier League, losing out in the EFL Cup 3rd round against Ipswich Town, all losing out to really not great teams. And then an awful run, and completely no wins whatsoever until Bolton in the FA Cup third round, FA Cup fourth round against Arsenal, fantastic win, fifth round against Blackburn, Champions League, they're into the round of 16, the quarterfinals, but losing out to Bayern Munich for 0-2 at home, 0-1 away from home. FA Cup semifinals against Chelsea, and then they lose to Leicester in the absolute final, 0-2. Still, getting to a cup final, getting to the corners of the Champions League, not too bad. The EFL Cup, whatever. Transfers for Tottenham, we actually do see some updates here and there. You can see they brought in Weston from Rangers again. We've seen that. Klaassen from Ajax for 17 and a quarter. Ali from Al Duhail for 14 and a half. And then loaning out Irving Lozano. We've seen him come in before, but 2.6 million total fee. And then getting rid of Tananga to Borussia Dortmund for 9.5. Max Robinson to Hull City. And then Mir to Rotherham for 85. And then again, Robertson for 195. The only difference for Wolves last time around is that, who is it? Lembikisa to Norwich for 725k, and that is it. Just a bunch of loans. Griffiths to Preston for 135, but no ins whatsoever. Newcastle did spend a little bit with Barrios from Zenit for 19.75, and then Kai Kennedy from the Rangers for 275k. West Ham, Jared Brown for 44 million, and Busio from Venezia 7.25. Anyone out? One. Jacob Murphy goes to Everton for 6.5. And that is all your transfer business for this entire season. Premier League stats, most goals, Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United, but Tottenham tied for 6th, at least with 58. Fewest shots against Tottenham with 438. Fewest conceded. There you go. Tottenham with 43. Do we have most shuttles? Newcastle and Tottenham both with 12, tied for 5th. Tackles 1. Tottenham with 788 and 8th. Passing completion, nobody. Most shots for Tottenham and Newcastle, 583 and 540. And then most points per game, you'd see Tottenham in 8th anyway, 153. Player overview, most goals, Isaac in 3rd with 23, so not too bad of a tally there. Most assists, Jared Brown with 16. Pablo Sarabia with 13 in 3rd for Wolves. Most player of the match awards, Isaac with Newcastle with 8. And that's it. Wow. Fewest conceded, you got Hugo Lloris with 43. That's a much better tally than last time I've seen. Aaron Ramsdale, most shutouts. Hugo Lloris there with 12, as well as Nick Pope. So most tackles 1, Cunha with 102. Most key passes, Kieran Trippier with 113. Most shots, Alexander Isaac in the entire league, 152 to Haaland's 143. How many goals did Haaland have? Only 26. So, and then Cunha with the Wolves, 95. So overall, not too bad. And as we finish out with all the stats in all competitions, Matheus Cunha with 15 goals in all comps. That is it. That is awful. Nunez with 712, highest average rating. Pablo Sarabia with 13 assists. He seems to be the assist man, big assist man. And then Cunha with 4 player of the match awards. Newcastle, Isaac with 26, fairly standard for him. Isaac also with 725, highest average rating. Jared Brown with 13 assists, a nice pickup there. Isaac with 8 player of the match awards. And then finishing out with Tottenham in all competitions, Harry Kane, yet again, 33 goals. That seems to be on the high end of his average. Harry Kane with 735, highest average rating. Kulusevski with 10 assists. And then Harry Kane with 10 player of the match awards. A pretty good run there. Overall, again, as I always say, this probably you could do a little bit better if you're able to finagle your way into things go match by match and deal with the things yourself. But overall, this tactic just didn't work for pretty much anyone for the most part. So if you want to take a look at it, it's an interesting tactic. But overall, I think there's probably some better out there that you can deal with. That sweeper keeper and attack. I've always found attacking goalkeepers kind of bizarre. But anyway, that is it for me, Safian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel. As always, saying thank you so much for watching. Take care and enjoy.